during World War II, more than half of Europe was either threatened or taken over by the Nazi Germany. And this isn't just about any other country was affected in some way. But I think it's safe to assume that you all know this. So back then, there were many radio channels made with the sole purpose of broadcasting information about the war, although the broadcasters were punished severely if found out. One of these many channels was called Peace in War. It was a channel broadcasted in the southern regions of Ireland after the war. Peace in War had decided to try host their own TV channel and changed the name to Peace in the World. It was now broadcasting in shows in English with the sole purpose of saying how good the world is and why we shouldn't start wars and what kind of other stuff. After about a year of broadcasting, they ran out of funding and they were replaced by some other Irish channel about cooking or something. It made sense. They broadcast stuff for people that they already knew or didn't care about. In the late 1970s, ITV had received some tapes, apparently from Peace in the World shows, and they had groups of video editors take a look at the tapes to see if they could find anything interesting in material for an hour, 2-hour TV show they were going to broadcast, giving info on the war and impact it had on society. The editors took a look through the tapes they had. Most of them were being shows for children and telling them how to be nice to others, and that generic crap you'd expect to see in such a preachy station. After a few days of looking unbearably boring shows, through one of the tape they were about to play had a dent in the corner and it was covered in dust. Strange as all of the other tapes seemed to be in mint condition. But when they were most 3 decades old, the alternative is more surprising. When they started up the tape, everyone jumped slightly, as they can all hear what was the white noise and the screen only showed static. They ignored this, figured that the tape was broken, and moved on. The next tape had the exact same sound, only there was something viewable on the screen. It was a woman, sitting in a blue chair surrounded by children as she reads a book. The show never displayed the name, although they had seen a few times before on other tapes. The old woman would always read 2 stories to the children per episode, and the first one was telling the kid how was bad and got punished, and the second telling them of how the kid was good and got rewarded. After that, she would talk briefly about what we learned today, and she would say an allusion with the children sitting around her, and remember, in order to stay safe, we must have peace in the world. This particular tape played out normal. You could make out kind of some words if you looked hard enough through the blurry screen, but the sound was just a white noise, playing on throughout the entire episode. All the other tapes that were displaying static and white noise, and all had dents in the exact same places, except for that one tape. Upon further inspection, the editors found that it wasn't a white noise, but rather highly distorted speech. They decided to play the tape in reverse to see if they can hear anything differently. One of the editors ran out of the room, another almost fell out of his chair, and the audio was indescribable. It sounded like a low, creepy chanting that was highly shocking, seen as if they weren't expecting to hear much more than a few words. During this, a very low static sound was heard, and what the editors can only describe as a black noise. And on the screen there was no woman, no children, and no background. Only that blue chair, with a book sitting on it. While they were both on fire, the 2 editors that actually stayed at this point listened carefully and could make out some words in Gaelic. One of the 2 remaining editors quit his job after this, but one of the editors remained in the editing in the reverse audio. It found out it said, "Let the world burn, let the peace be diminished, and let the lands wage war," over and over and over until the episode was finished. The editor destroyed the tapes, and he had also quit his job. Years later, the editor was mugged and beaten and identified street gang who did it, and was then set on fire, as a gang saying manically, "Let the world burn, let the world burn, let the world burn." And that, my pretties, was Black Noise, a creepypasta written by MrDark. My final thoughts on the story? Well, it's a pretty interesting story involving sort of like what it was originally a TV, well, not TV, but like a broadcasting of like a radio show or something that was brought to TV. So during that time, during that time, that is when get to see a few things involving, well, the whole, incident, if it's being, a lost episode, and when the video editors make out, they realize how disturbing it was. I remember Formable Robot actually narrated this a couple months ago, and I thought it was pretty good, so I thought maybe I should give this a go, so I'm currently giving this a go right now, and it's a great creepypasta. I found it to be enjoyable. It's definitely well made in detail. It's definitely a really awesome story, and I personally find it really enjoyable. So, MrDark, if you're watching this video, awesome job. I really enjoyed this story. This is definitely a good one, and I do wonder if you've never written other stories, because this one was a pretty good one. So, I guess with that being the case and that being said, I'm gonna sit here and just say this is just gonna be something I've never touched in ages. I think I did come across this one back in 2022, which was last year, but never really had the time to, read this story, because this story is pretty good. So anyways, with that being said, and that being the case, the grammar's pretty good, as well as the sentence structuring stuff. It's a pretty good story, so I really got to say, this is definitely a good read. I will leave a link in the description down below for any of you guys who are, wanting to go take a look at this story. You are more than welcome to take a look at the story if you want to, as I will leave a link in description down below for anybody who is interested. So, yeah. I can't really see anything that I did not like about this story. It's definitely a good one. So, with that being said, and that being the case, I personally enjoyed this story. It's a really good one. And to MrDark, if you're watching this, awesome job. You did a great job with this story. So, I definitely got to give props to you for that. So, anyways, this one gets a solid 10 out of 10. Awesome story. Definitely enjoyed it. And I definitely would read this again. This is definitely a really fun story. So, I guess with that being said, and that being the case, I know this is a short review, but what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, because I personally would like to hear what you all think. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you are new to my channel, feel free to leave this video a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And if you're interested in checking out my DeviantArt page, you could find that in my About page of my channel. And if you're interested in following me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. It is on my About page on my channel as well. If you also are interested in following my backup channel called MrDark Shigo, that link will also be in the About page section of my channel. So if you're interested in subscribing to my backup channel, feel free to do so as well. So, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, I'll see you all next time, and roll the outro because I'm out.